Namaste and hearty welcome to all of you to this third high intensity satsang. Every Thursday we are having these satsangs and more or less this is going on for past 30 years. So Thursday is our day of meeting. Earlier it was all offline. Now that I'm traveling to different countries, it's going on online now. So why are we doing this satsang and why this title high intensity satsang? We had been doing Thursday satsang all along. But you see, thousands of people who have attended this satsang, since so many years it's going on, few people got enlightened. And that number is pretty good in our Prem Sangha. But if you see the percentage wise, that percentage is very small compared to the number of people who are attending it. So as a scientist, I have some data why it is happening or why it is not happening. Either way, we have analyzed the thing. Why it is happening? Many people who are in Prem Sangha are highly evolved souls. They have a lot of fast birth sadhana, and only those people are attracted to this kind of satsang. Okay. So, because lots of highly evolved people are there, a lot of people got enlightened just by listening, just by understanding. And it happened in many camps also, offline camps, online camps also it happened. A lot of feedback coming in. Okay. That Eureka moment comes, people understand, and that's it. So once you understand that your association with the body mind is fictitious, you are the awareness who is aware of your body mind. Once you understand that and you sustain that, you start living life in freedom. Jivan Mukti. Not a difficult job. For a simple man who can listen, understand, it can happen instantaneously. But why is it that it's not happening to all? The reason is most of the people are not having that high intensity of PVF, higher frequency, higher vibrational frequency, and that's why the understanding is not going deeper. Some understanding is happening, so everybody is enjoying. But understanding has to go at a different level altogether. And that happens when your awareness grows. That happens when you vibrate at high frequency. That happens when your PV goes high. At certain level, that understanding will catch the fire. And enlightenment happens. Anybody can catch the fire. The person has to vibrate 700 plus frequency. Scientists are talking about it. It's measurable. So anybody who is vibrating 700 plus will get it just like that without doing anything. Why? Because you are ready for that. See, my master Sri Dada Gavan used to give the example. Deep se deep jage. If an unlit lamp is there and that lamp comes to another lamp which is lit, the unlit lamp will catch the fire instantly if it is ready. If it is not ready, it will not catch the fire. So what does it mean to be ready? See, lamp has to be ready means it should not be having water, it should be having ghee or oil. The wick should be fully immersed in the oil or ghee. It should be ready. Willingness, readiness, preparation for the body, preparation of the mind. All that is important. And that happens with your sadhana, your meditation. So, not everybody is into meditation. That is the first reason. I have seen thousands of people are just preparing themselves on the path of sadhana. Okay? There are a million others who are not even preparing. So these people are better than others. At least they are preparing. They are doing some preparatory exercises. They are preparing some mind with the mantrachar, chanting few utrams, creating good environment, happy vibes at home. That's something to be appreciated. Yes, that's good. But that's not the sadhana. Let me define scientifically what is sadhana. Anything that increases your PVF is sadhana. Anything else that you are doing in the name of religion, in the name of spirituality, may be useful, but that will not come under the scientific definition of sadhana, the spiritual practices. Any spiritual practice, if it is worth the name, it must increase your PVF. So you should understand what is it that you are doing that is increasing your PVF and what is it that you are doing which is not increasing your PVF. Something may not increase the PVF and may have a feel good factor. That's okay. There's nothing wrong. You can continue to do that. But focus more on something that increases your PVF. See, right now that I had some time, I was working seriously last few days on how to measure PVF. So I was talking to some engineers here in US. This watch has some parameters. So this watch can be actually converted into PVF watch. It will show you the direct reading of your PVF. It is possible. Okay, it needs to be modified. We can have some indirect measurements of PVF also, like in relationship we did, measuring the health of relationship. Even though it's a subjective perception, but you see some tick marking helps you to compare. If you are improving, the marks will improve, your score will improve. So those are known as the psychological instruments, marking on certain parameters. That way also you can check your PVF. There is third way, which Dr. David Hawkins used, and that is the science of kinesiology, the muscle power. The muscle knows the fact. Okay. So science of kinesiology, I'll be teaching in Miracles of PVF workshop when I come to India very soon. 26th morning, I'll be landing, and September we are going to have this demonstration of how to measure PVF. In that workshop titled as Miracles of PVF. I'll teach you how to do exactly. So there are three methods. We'll be using two methods. The third one, technology will take its own time to develop. But first two methods, which I know we'll be using, will be cross-checking whether it is true or not. And some scientific factors will be available to us. Okay, something subjective, something objective. Or kinesiology is a mixture of both. Kinesiology, nahi, kinesiology. Kinesiology, which measures the muscle power and all, arm strength. So there are noetic instruments also available. One of our friend is having, which can directly tell you PVF. There are instruments already designed by noetic scientists. So I saw one such instrument. Lots of things are happening on this world. People are trying their own best thing. But why all this thing necessary? Simple reason. There is so much of pain. There is so much of anguish, grief, so many issues, depression, loneliness, anxieties. People all over the world are suffering. One simple solution to the whole jargon, all issues is enlightenment. And that's far more easier than what we think. See, becoming a medical doctor, how many years you study? 10 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2 minimum. Plus you do your PhD or specialization. Those many years you study to become a doctor. So many computer engineers are there, IT fellows in our groups. So many years. 10 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2. Those many years you have studied minimum in your college. Then you become an IT engineer. Okay. For enlightenment, how much time have you spent? Something that will change your life entirely. People are not even willing to meditate for 1 hour a day. See? And that is something to be understood, that we have been hypnotized by our life to behave in a certain manner. That hypnosis is functioning on everybody. See, many times I go to functions, small function, big function, I meet people. I'm very open to meeting everybody. I keep checking. Almost everybody looks like sleepwalker from that dimension. People are awake, normal people. But from the dimension of that awakeness, everybody looks like a sleepwalker. And because everybody is a sleepwalker, you feel it's okay to be a sleepwalker. And that's where all the issues are. When I met my master, I found this one person is not a sleepwalker. He is fully aware. I want to be one like him. That was my inspiration. And I asked him, I see everybody is sleepwalkers. I'm half asleep. I want to be fully awakened. But I know in the sleep that I am sleeping. That's where the beginning. If you know that you are a sleepwalker, you know you are sleeping, which means something in you is awakening. That is the beginning of awakening. Jiddu Krishnamurti used to say, become aware of your unawareness. You are unaware, fine. Become aware that you are unaware. Being aware of our unawareness is the beginning of awareness. That's where it begins. If you begin your process and if you continue, if you gain the intensity, then the phenomena will happen. See, last time I was in US, we visited Ojai Valley in a small group of friends were there. I had read Krishnamurti's biography. There was a tree called pepper tree under which he was meditating, and that's where he got enlightened. And that tree is still there. As a group, we also meditated under the same tree. So it can happen to anybody. As a scientist, I met hundreds of enlightened masters world over and interviewed them because I was inspired by Dr. Raymond Moody, a thorough scientist who created the model of what happens after the person dies. Very difficult job. But you see, he interviewed more than 500 people who had died. He traveled world over and created a model of what happens after the death. And that has been documented in his book, Life After Life, by Dr. Raymond Moody. So I happened to meet him in one of the scientific conferences, and I asked him how he derived that model of working it. And with that, I was inspired. After that, I created a model to work with enlightened masters, interview them, and find out what is the method by which every master got enlightened. If you understood that, I would like to share my research data with you. No master ever got enlightened by chanting the mantra. This is scientific data, okay? Many masters after enlightenment gave mantras to others, but none of them got enlightened by chanting the mantra. Okay. Second thing, no master ever got enlightened by singing bhajans, but many masters sang bhajans after enlightenment. That was like expressing the gratitude. Many masters created their own bhajans also. They got into that, poetic mood, started singing songs, poetries, bhajans. It happened to many Bhakti Margis. But none of them got enlightened by singing bhajans. Bhajans happen afterwards. Like that, there are many things. So let me focus on what helped them to get enlightened rather than what did not help. Okay. But I want to tell you, so many preparatory things that we are doing, everybody doing everywhere, different things. So like my yoga teacher was so particular. In my early days, I used to attend to yoga classes and my yoga teacher was so particular about asanas. But let me tell you, none of those masters got enlightened by doing yogasana. My pranayam teacher was also so very particular. None of the master ever got enlightened just by doing pranayam. But many masters, including Krishnamurti, Jiddu Krishnamurti used to do yogasana pranayam even after enlightenment. Very interesting research. There's actual scientific research. Okay, I'm not making up the stories. This is exactly the data that I got. So, after meeting so many masters, interviewing them, and asking them, how did it happen? Okay. And let me tell you, this research was after my enlightenment. So, talking to masters was easy for me. If it wouldn't have happened to me, I wouldn't have understood the phenomena what they talked about. It was all after 1993 research happened. 1993 onwards. Afterwards, not before that. Before that, I had met many, but that was for the inquiry, not for the research. So, many masters mention I was meditating and it happened. The explosion happened, the expansion of the energy happened. Okay. Many masters said, I had dropped everything, I was doing nothing, and it happened. Some masters got intensity, and I can even quote the name. I interviewed a very wonderful master, Sant Amitabh. I specially traveled to place where he was available that those days near Panjgini and stayed with him for 2 3 days because I wanted to not just interview but learn whatever he was teaching. Not very well known, but he was the chief disciple of Acharya Tulsi in Jainism, and he used to address big meetings. He was very powerful public speaker. And while addressing to a gathering of 100,000 people, he realized that whatever he was talking to people, he himself had not experienced. And being a very honest person, he happened to meet his own master, Acharya Tulsi, and discuss with him. He said, see, all these things I am talking to people, but I have not experienced it myself. So I would like to drop out from this Sangha, go into the forest, be alone, meditate, and either I will die or I will attend to that, whatever is there. But it's acceptable to me. I will not talk to people about these things, religion and all, something which I have not experienced myself. I feel very uneasy because that's not the truth. I have read it in the books. I have accumulated the knowledge from many other people. It's a second-hand knowledge. Now that I know for sure, I'm not enjoying this life of sharing the second-hand knowledge with so many people. I would better love to drop out and be on my own. And Acharya Tulsi, being a great man, he gave him blessing. That's great thing. He should do that. So he went all alone, stayed in Goa for a few days in a rented house, and then came to Panchgini. And on one day, he did a very rigorous kriya, and he decided, see, either I know the truth or I die. There is nothing in between. That day, he got the intensity and he got enlightened. I'm talking about Sant Amitabh. That's how it happened. He gained the intensity through kriya. Was it kriya that made him hell? No. It was the intensity that made him enlightened. So anybody who vibrated high, now the positive thing, what made them enlightened? Anybody who was vibrating high got enlightened. How? By getting rooted into the witness consciousness. This is something which is common to all. So get into the witness consciousness or Sakshi Bhava, gain the intensity, ask yourself the question, who is it that is witnessing? And suddenly the witness will shift to awareness. Awareness becomes aware of itself, that is enlightenment. Now see the pitfall of this misunderstanding. I met a very well-known IS officer, a great bureaucrat, had reached to his highest level in his department, at least 15 years elder to me. He used to listen to Krishnamurti, and he understood that for getting enlightened, he should watch the thoughts, because that's what Krishnamurti was talking about. So when I happened to meet him, he said, all this is humbug. I'm watching the thoughts for last 30, 40 years. I keep watching. I feel little better, little silent, but nothing has happened. I said, who is your guide? Who was the guide? He said, I have not met anybody, but I was listening to Krishnamurti's talks, and he talked about witnessing the thoughts. And I'm witnessing the thoughts for 30, 40 years, nothing has happened. So I told him, did Krishnamurti say only witnessing the thoughts or something else? Do you see the gap after the thoughts? He said no. Krishnamurti also talked about change of gestalt. Shift your focus from gaps, from thoughts to the gaps. Focus more onto the gaps. That gap is the door to divine. That's where you enter the divine. But this see, those who keep watching the thoughts, you can keep watching the thoughts for 1,000 years, nothing will happen. You have to track the trajectory of a thought, become aware of the full thought, where it begins, how it moves, where it ends. When a thought ends and another thought has not yet come, there is that split second gap. That gap should be observed. That is called gap awareness. Sandhikal Jagrukta. Now, if you want one word that help people get enlightened, it is Sandhikal Jagrukta. Anybody who noticed the gap and focus on the gap got rooted into the gap and enlightenment happened. So if you want a positive way, what exactly helps, all of you know. It is the Sandhikal Jagrukta that helps. So don't just watch the thoughts. That's the beginning. Because you only thoughts. So you watch the thoughts. The thoughts will reduce. The gaps will emerge. Focus on the gaps, not on the thoughts. You see, for example, Mumbai's crowded roads, you want to cross the road, and so much of traffic is there. If you keep watching the vehicle, you will never cross the road. You have to catch the gap between the two vehicles and run. So between the two vehicles, you will reach Satsang. Same thing. Don't focus on the thoughts. Focus on the gap between the thoughts, and the gap will widen. Stay there without being uneasy. Because when you are rooted in the gap, you give yourself a chance for awareness to become aware of itself. We are not giving ourselves that chance. We are not giving chance to awareness to become aware of itself. That's why enlightenment is not happening. All scientific data, 100% confirmed, guaranteed. Can enlightenment be proved in laboratory? When my master visited USA in 1975, and he has mentioned his book, some of the psychologists and the scientists approached him and told him to come to the laboratory so that they can check the enlightenment with their machines. And my master said, how will you measure that which is immeasurable? That which is immeasurable, you cannot measure. Your machines are not capable of proving it. My master was a philosopher. He was not a scientist in that sense. I got the same offer on my first foreign tour when I was in Muscat. Sultan Qaboos University, I addressed 100 plus scientists there, doctors and scientists. And many of them were working in the laboratory. And they invited me to prove it into the laboratory. And I was happy to get that chance because I wanted to see how they do that as a scientist. And I cooperated with them. So they put all the electrodes on my body and made me sleep, and they were in another room monitoring on the screen what exactly is happening in my heart, in my brain, because that's a physical parameters only they can measure. But machines had grown sensitive, so they were measuring the brain waves. So after 15-20 minutes, they came back to my room to do some readjustments and all. I asked them what's happening. He said, oh, machine is not working properly because we are seeing the alpha waves, which shows you are aware. And simultaneously, we are seeing the delta waves, which means you are asleep. So we are adjusting. I said, okay, you readjust and go back. So after half an hour, the fellow came back again. Are you moving your body? I said, no, I have not moved. You see, there's a camera. You can see I'm not moving. So he said, again, we are seeing these alpha waves and the theta waves together. Are you sleeping? Are you awake? So you can see whatever is there. I'm awake. Scientists were confused. First time in laboratory, and this is recorded, I have the copy of all these waves. First time in the laboratory, somebody is proving that person is fast asleep, that's why the delta waves are there, and person is fully awake, that's why the alpha waves are there. They were confused. They have never seen such kind of things, their machine demonstrating. That's what exactly it is. I'm sleeping, but I'm aware of my sleep, that's it. Throughout the day, I worked, talked to many people, traveled a lot. I was tired, I was sleeping. The experiment was happening midnight. Midnight 12 to morning 6. And definitely I was sleeping, but I was aware in my sleep. That's what something that they could not digest as scientists. How somebody can be sleeping and be aware. That's exactly what is samadhi. So yogi samadhi was captured by scientists in laboratory in 2009 in Muscat. Okay. This is possible. Now there are advanced machineries available. Now they are measuring gamma waves. See, those days in 2009, we had only alpha, beta, theta, delta. The laboratory in which I was there, they did not have the machine to measure the gamma waves. Today, there are machines which are measuring the gamma waves in the brain. So, what is the difference between a normal person and an enlightened person if they go for the scientific test? Enlightened person will have lots of gamma waves in the brain. Right? Just because that awareness is there, the radiations will be different. Brain waves are different. It's very much provable. Even Shaktipat is provable in the laboratory now. You see, Shaktipat was considered as something very, very mystical. Shaktipat is provable in laboratory now. Scientists don't say Shaktipat. Scientists are talking about the term called gamma wave transmission. If a master can transmit the gamma wave from his mind to other people's mind, that is what is considered as a Shakti path, and that's kind of a temporary experience of a samadhi or enlightenment. And many masters do that. So in my second year engineering, when I went to Vajreshwari, Ganeshpuri with my roommate, hostel mate, who tricked me to go there just to enjoy Amras Puri. That was the summer season. And I was bored with the food that we used to get in hostel mess. And somehow on a weekend we landed up there. And organic mangoes grown in the ashram only. We enjoyed the Amras Puri. And there was some seva. So I preferred to do the cleaning the garden. And I was sweeping the garden, and Babaji came, Baba Muktananda, with his peacock feather, more punk in his hand, and he just gave me. And that was the Shakti path. And I was sitting there in the garden for 2 hours in Samadhi. What was that? Scientifically, it was the transmission of gamma waves. So whatever he did with that, his state jumped to my state. And I was there. And became popular because everybody there noticed this new boy has come and he got the prasad. In ashram they used to say Babaji ka prasad. I didn't know. I had not even idea, but I had got that prasad. I tested it and enjoyed it for 2 hours. Then my hostel mate became very jealous of me. He said, I'm going there for years together and Babaji never gave me prasad. You came for Amras Puri and you got the prasad. What to do? So that is called gamma wave transmission. Okay. So in the first week of September, when we meet at Mumbai, this is part of, I will do gamma wave transmission also because I have understood how it is being done properly now. And I want to teach some of you can do that. Okay. So science of Shaktipat will open up now fully to the world. Proper scientific ways. There's no more mystical thing. It's very much scientifically provable in the laboratory. Okay? All these things will happen very soon. See, now the earth frequency has changed. Something that we consider very, very mystical is no more mystical. It's very much known to the scientists. We can reproduce it. We can do the experiments. And because of this new frequency on the planet Earth, which is almost like a crisis situation, it's like a do or die. Either the humanity will get destroyed with atom bombs in the war, or mass awakening can happen and change the consciousness of the planet Earth. I am very much all for the second sun, mass awakening. Let us change the consciousness of the planet Earth and we can escape the World War III. Preparations are going on full-fledged for World War III. Almost every country is preparing. So, my dear friends, the solution which is there to help you to come out of your loneliness, your depression, your anxiety disorder, and all that is the same solution that will prevent the war, World War III, to happen and raise the consciousness of the planet Earth. All of us, we can create the heaven on earth. That is the possibility existing. And it always existed. But you see, this bad fellows always dominate the world. And good people keep quiet. And that's the reason the negative energy had been winning over the positive energy in Kali Yuga. When good people stand up and start talking, truth has so much of power, the untruth cannot stand in front of the truth. It will disappear. Truth is like the sun, it's like a light, the source of light. Untruth is like the darkness, and darkness cannot face the sun. But good people should learn how to stand. Shine your light bright. And that is the mission that we are on to. More and more good people should come out. Start talking, start sharing, start helping people around you. Slowly, slowly. Deep se deep jage. One by one, all the lamps will get lit. And mass awakening is possible. If 6% people on the planet Earth, which is the critical mass right now, get awakened, the whole world will get awakened. So much of love, so much of joy, so much of bliss will be there. Why should people fight? Why should there be wars? If all the leaders of all the countries are enlightened masters, there will be no war. There is a lot of sharing, give and take, but there will not be any war. War is a destruction, good for nobody. When Pandavas won the war, but there was no joy because there was nothing left. Won and got what? Nothing. In fact, lost all the children, all the cousins, all the gurus, the grandpa, Vishnu Pitami. No joy of winning the war. So when the consciousness changes of the Mother Earth, planet Earth, we will feel the Earth in a different manner. Right now, Earth is angry. Earth is tilting scientifically. It's a proven. Earth axis is tilting. And that's why the earthquakes are happening and all the natural calamities are happening. Because Earth is angry right now. But if the consciousness of the people change, for sure, there will be no natural calamities and all. So the consciousness has shifted, everything will come back to much better, joyous state, blissful state. That's exactly the point. Our consciousness is creating all the state that is there. So when the mass consciousness shifts, the whole consciousness of the planet Earth will get influenced. And when Earth is happy, naturally the natural calamities will be reducing. There will be no natural calamities. It will be all peaceful, blissful environment. But you see, this science of consciousness, not many people bother about. Most of the scientists are dealing with Newtonian physics. They will never understand the aspect of consciousness. Some scientists who understand the quantum physics, quantum science. They are little closer to the noetic science. Okay. But noetic scientists, they understand the phenomena of consciousness properly. But those are very, very few. Why? Because there are no tools, there are no techniques to measure this. That's why it comes under the pseudoscience. It has not gained the reputation of a science also. Many Newtonian scientists, they call noetic science as a pseudoscience because it does not follow the procedures of the physics. But how will the consciousness follow the rules of physics? It's a very fundamental question. Consciousness is to be studied from a different perspective that will not fit into the Newtonian physics. That much basic understanding a student of science must have. Okay. So when I was interviewing many masters, one of my question was it step by step? Did your enlightenment happen step by step or was it a quantum jump? Interesting. Want to know this? How much time we have? Ample. So for many masters, it was just a quantum jump. They didn't do anything. Let me give you one example. Mr. Patel, who was a contractor of jetty, making jetty, was a contractor, smoking bidi, a typical Gujarati contractor gentleman, Mr. Patel, okay, whom all of you now know as Dada Bhagwan, a very popular Gujarati saint, Dada Bhagwan. You know, his story is he was sitting on the railway platform waiting for the train at Surat railway station. Typical bench that we have on the platforms, he was sitting there and waiting for the train. And suddenly it happened. He got enlightened. And full-fledged enlightenment. Amazing master. So it was just a quantum jump without doing anything. But you see, my master Dada Gavan, Krishnamurti, they meditated a lot. They did sadhana. They were trained by other people. So slowly, slowly the preparation was there. And then one day that quantum jump happens. So answer is true. Both. For some, it was a direct quantum jump. For some, it was a step-by-step preparation and the quantum jump. But for everybody, it was a quantum jump. Somebody prepared in this lifetime, somebody was prepared in the last lifetime. So the quantum jump happened. The fact is, everybody does the sadhana, everybody prepares the body, mind, organism to bear the high voltage shock, enlightenment. And when the quantum jump happens, you should not get derailed. Okay, your body, mind should be strong enough to handle that high power energy. Otherwise, the derailment can. So, step by step preparation of the body, mind, organism is necessary. And when you are ready and you gain the intensity, in that high intensity, vibrational frequency enlightenment can have. Okay. So, I'm pointing at something. Why this word high intensity satsang? Because that is the missing thing in Om Prem Sangha. People are walking the path, but they are not gaining that high intensity. And that's why most of the people are missing out. So once you have that high intensity vibrational frequency and you do nothing, okay, enlightenment happens. The quantum jump happens. See, we are too much addicted to doing. Doing mantra jap, doing totem chanting, doing yogasana, doing pranayam, doing something. Enlightenment can never happen by doing. That doesn't mean you stop doing yoga and pranayama. Please do. It's good for your body, good for your mind. Okay. Otherwise, some people who are very lazy, they will quote Guruji. See, Guruji said nothing happens by doing. So whatever little bit they are doing, that also they will stop doing. No, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you that nobody ever got enlightened by doing. Because enlightenment happens by non-doing. And most of the people don't know how to get into the non-doing. That is the big issue. So one of the course I designed yesterday is titled as Nixon, Niksen. So we are going to have 8 sessions online of this class, what is known as Nixon. I already designed the class. What is Nixon? Nixon is the art of doing nothing. So when I read about it, very nice way, something that we need to learn. What is that? The art of doing nothing. So when I read this book on Nixon, what I understood that I had mastered this art in my previous birth. And I was born in this life with a mastery in this art of doing nothing. And that's my mother used to tell me akarmi in the early days because I wouldn't move. I wouldn't do anything. Akarmi means somebody who doesn't do anything. So I understood that I had walked the path of Nixon, the art of doing nothing, many, many lifetimes and mastered it. So I do nothing. And people who do nothing, they get enlightened. That is the secret. So what is that is missing? Learning the art of doing nothing. That is missing. If you learn that, the enlightenment happens. See, lower 5 chakras needs a lot of cleansing, a lot of doing. So all the kriyas, all the sadhana is for cleansing your lower chakras. So Muladhara is related with earth element, Swadhisthana with the water element. Naturally, all the bladder and all water element organs are there. Manipur chakra is with the fire. The liver is there. Digestive fire is there. Anahata is related to air. Your lungs are there. Heart is there. Vishuddhi chakra, throat chakra is related to the space element. So there is a hollowness in the throat. That's where the voice box comes into picture. How the voice comes from the space. Third eye has the thought, witnessing the thoughts. And Sahasrara has nothing. So third eye to Sahasrara, that final quantum jump needs a sadhana of doing nothing. That is what is missing in most of the people. See, third eye is awakened in almost all the Om Prem Sangha members because you are able to see the subtle. If you are able to see the subtle, auras, chakras and all, you are able to do astral travel, you have that astral awareness, which most of you have. Which means for sure your energy has gone up to third eye. Why the enlightenment is not happening? Many it has happened, a few it has not happened. It has not happened because you have not mastered the art of doing nothing. From third eye to Sahasrara is the path of doing nothing. Once you learn that, once you understand that, you vibrate high and you do nothing. Why? Doing means reducing the vibrational frequency. You are raising high, going up in the frequency, which is good, it's required. But the moment you do something, you start depleting your energy because energy will go into doing something. So you don't have to deplete the energy. You have to continuously raise the energy reservoir. And when you do that, at one moment, the water will turn into the steam at 100 degrees. So the explosion will happen, the quantum jump will happen. Until then, you have to hold yourself into that high frequency vibrations. So scientists have measured that also in laboratory. See, thoughtless state is now can be measured in the mm, laboratory with the brainwaves. So scientists say that anybody who is able to sustain the thoughtless state for 40 minutes will have a godly experience. They have used the word godly experience. They also talk about God particle. Yes, thought reduces behavior. So when you are vibrating high, your energy is going high. When you think, the thought takes away that energy. It's a drainage. The thought is the biggest drainage on your energy. 80% of your energies are draining because you are thinking. So if you stop thinking, the energy reservoir will build up, your vibrational frequency go up. At one moment, suddenly the explosion will happen. When the tank is full, the overflowing happens. And that is the enlightenment phenomena that we are talking about. But you see, you do the meditation, you build up, and then you do something and you declare. So your energy tank goes 50% to 75%, 75% to 35%, 35% to 80%, 80% to 20%. On weekend, it goes to 95%, then you come down to 35%. Enlightenment cannot happen. Not 95%, not even 99%. When it goes to 100%, then only the enlightenment will happen. So what is missing is that art of not doing anything, not even thinking. If you are thinking, you are draining your energy, enlightenment cannot happen. Nixon, remember the name. Art of doing nothing. That is the secret of enlightenment. At the end, keep on raising your energy levels, keep on raising your vibrational frequency. Don't dissipate your energy in thinking or doing something. No mantra chanting, no pranayama, no yogasana, that's common. You may do yogasana pranayama in the morning and then sit silently. Raise your energy. Remain into that vibrancy. If you can spend more than 40 minutes in that vibrancy, the quantum jump will happen. This is laboratory proven thing. So, high intensity satsang is everything to clarify in a scientific manner so that the path becomes very, very clear. You understand where you are doing right things and where you are doing the wrong things. Okay? Become very clear about it. Once you become clear, write it down. Decide the action plan. Know what you need to do. Okay? And you will see it happen. It has happened to so many. So it's not that rare also. It has happened to hundreds of people. In our Prem Sangha also, it has happened to hundreds of people. Many of them have become now great masters. They are teaching on their own way. It has happened to many. Some masters are teaching, some are not teaching, but it has happened to many for sure. So anybody who understands this and walks the path will get it. But you see, for many people, there is no time. I don't have time to do sadhana. That is also the point. Especially the working mothers. I understand that they have no time. But the child takes away the time and the job takes away the time and the household chores take away the time. So where is the time for sadhana? Their energy reservoir doesn't go up only. And energy reservoir to go up needs a lot of meditation time. Just sitting silently, doing nothing. Just meditate. Be aware of your breath. The body is breathing. That will keep on breathing. You don't do anything. You can be just aware of your breath. That is the art of non-doing. It's the beginning of the art of non-doing. Your mind is thinking. Be aware of your thoughts. So the mind will stop thinking. That is something entering the Nixon. The art of not doing anything. And one moment comes where your body keeps breathing slowly. Mind is not thinking. Because you are not thinking, so you are not depleting your energy level, and the right energy levels will go up, up, up. Just continue to be in that state. At one moment, boom, that's it, overflow happens. Once that overflow happens, your struggle of meditation will stop. Then the meditation is something natural, it keeps happening. You will not struggle to get into meditation for them. Initially, it may be a tough job to hold the state of non-thinking for 40 minutes. It's quite a challenging job. But once it happens, it's very natural thing. So you keep on getting into that, keep on increasing your frequency and reach to that ultimate. That is the first challenging task of the lower self for the mind, because it is the death of the mind. And mind will never cooperate with you. Understand this thing. Mind will never ever cooperate because it is the death of the mind. So mind will create the troubles for you, create some thought, or put you into sleep, and you miss the point. Okay. So don't fall prey to the tricks of the mind when you go to this higher level. Keep watching the mind. That's it. Don't fall prey to the tricks of the mind. Keep watching aloof attention of Dada Gavan, what he says. Maintain your aloof attention. Get into the high vibrancy and just be there. That's what the Nixon is all about. The art of doing nothing. So if you can get there and stay there, that is the main point. The most challenging task is to be there and stay there for 50 minutes. See, for 1 minute, 2 minutes, you will get into that. It's easy. But staying there continuously for 40 minutes. Yes, that is a difficult job, and that needs your time, that needs your talent, that needs some space for you. Okay. So I used to get up early morning, 4 o'clock, sit for meditation, freshen up and sit for meditation. So all that is possible, whatever you need to do, you do that. Don't fall to the mind grams. Don't fall prey to the good sensations, feel good factors and all. That's why we are discussing this thing. See, there are certain feel good factors, and there's something which is a science that will help you to get enlightened. Segregate these two things. There are many feel good factors. Okay. See, many people feel very good if they listen to Hindi movie songs. I understand that. Some songs are like very, very philosophical. They actually talk about the truth. There are songs like that. Okay. 100 plus songs in Hindi movies are contributed by Yogiraj Amarjyoti ji. His songs are there in Hindi movies. Of course, they have distorted a little bit here and there, but his 100 plus songs are there. He himself mentioned once. He does not claim the copyright, but other people have copied, and they have included into the Hindi movies with little bit of distortion. And sometimes they are distorted beyond limit. You can't even imagine that this song is written by Yogiraj. He was writing for something else. His love for God. And people brought it down in the movies for the love for the girl, and that's where the distortions have happened. Many songs are there. So, my dear friend, the point is learn to segregate feel good factors from what actually helps you to get enlightened. So don't fall prey to those aspects of feel good factors. If you need to do it little bit. But your main focus should be this. That is the high intensity understanding. Okay. If you can get there, for sure, something most beautiful phenomena is waiting for you. And everybody. See, right now, the planetary position, I'm checking almost daily. Okay, in our esoteric club, I will be writing the articles on current planetary position at least twice a month. plus anytime any planet shifts to the Rashi or Nakshatra. See, like 13th August, yesterday, Jupiter entered Punarvasu Nakshatra. So it's like a big event. Not many people know, but for astrologers, it's a big event. Whenever Jupiter enters Punarvasu and stays there, this will stay in Punarvasu up to mid 2026. Long time. Jupiter will remain in Punarvasu. Excellent time for spiritual sadhana because Jupiter represents wisdom. Punarvasu means re-establishing yourself. Maximum number of people will be reborn. Maximum number of people will get enlightened from 13th August 2025 to mid 2026. Absolutely right time. Planetary position wise. Jupiter in Punarvasu is like you will be reborn at any moment. Just give it a chance. And it's so ready. It's so easy. The cosmic forces are pushing you for awakening. Okay, the right time has come. But there is a crisis situation also. Neptune and Saturn both retrograde in Pisces, which means escalation of the wars. All those things are there. Negative aspects are also there. That's why it is known as a crisis situation. Either you go to extreme negative or you go to extreme positive. Nothing in between. So even if more and more people prefer to go to the extreme positive, and the mass awakening happens, then we can avoid the World War III. And there is a beautiful method. Okay. See, do we have time? I will tell you one short thing because these days nobody wants to do very long sadhana and all. So that's a short also. See, I was interviewing many masters from Inchigiri Sampradaya. They are all the disciples of Swami Siddharameswar Maharaj. I visited Sri Siddharameswar Maharaj Mutt near Kolhapur in a small village called Pathri. Pathri is a small village near Kolhapur in Maharashtra, India. And there is a mutt. That's where that master stayed. And I found one group, one master, whose all the disciples were enlightened. And that master's name is Siddharameswar Maharaj, a very powerful master. His master was Bhausaheb Maharaj. Bhausaheb Maharaj was a very great meditator. And his method of enlightenment as promoted by him was meditation. So when Siddharameswar Maharaj met Bhausaheb Maharaj, his master, he told him to meditate. Sit down and meditate. So he asked, for how much time should I meditate? The Bhausaheb Maharaj told him that you meditate for 8 hours in the morning and 8 hours in the evening. The rest of the time you do whatever you like. That was the answer by the master. You meditate for 8 hours in the morning and 8 hours in the evening. Rest of the time do whatever you like. If you can meditate like that for years together, you will get enlightened. And he got enlightened that way only. And he started traveling to promote real spirituality. And he saw that this is too much. People don't have that kind of time to meditate full time. So he decided that there should be another way, better way, shortcut. But he didn't know what it can be. So he locked himself up in a small room. And I visited that room also. Okay, that room is still there where he had himself locked up. For 9 months he was there. 9 months, 9 days, he did not come out of that small room. And the whole experiment was to find out the method how enlightenment can happen without the long hours of meditation. And he came out. And he tried his new method, and all his disciples got enlightened. All. Many of them you know. because they are more popular than the master. Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Khetwadi 11th lane, Panbidi Dukan he was having in Mumbai. Such a man, just by listening to his master, he got enlightened. Ranjit Maharaj, whom I had met, he visited our home also. We had one satsang by Ranjit Maharaj. He was a disciple of Swami Siddharameswar Maharaj, or Siddheswar Maharaj. There are many. Balsekar Maharaj. Balsekar Maharaj was a disciple of Nitrat Maharaj. All these were there in Mumbai. I have met all of them. Big lot of people got enlightened. Simple. And what was his method? His method is very simple. So he will get into love field. He'll get into the high PF field. And he will tell his disciple to just listen to him. And he started sharing his energy. And one by one, everybody started getting the enlightenment. So when I interviewed Sri Ranjit Maharaj at his home in Gamadia Gali near Harkishan Das Hospital in Mumbai, so I asked him, how did you get enlightened? He said, just I looked into my master's eyes and something happened and I was transformed that moment. Just by looking into the eyes of the master. That's called Shaktipat. That's called gamma wave radiation. So there is a shortcut. And lots of people got enlightened through the shortcut. Okay, not by meditating 8 hours in the morning, 8 hours in the evening. They just got enlightened by listening to the master. Just by listening. So, I pursued this master Sri Ranjit Maharaj for next 2 years because very interesting things were there and it was all helping my research. So I asked him, how do you help your disciple to get enlightened? And he came out with a Brahma Vakya, which is still imprinted in my mind. He says, understanding is realizing. That is his Brahma Vakya. Simple truth, you understand. That's it. You are realizing. Understanding is realizing. That is his mantra. And through high power understanding also, enlightenment happens. Just by understanding. And this is not a new thing. I was going deep into Jainism because I have many Jain friends. There is something in Jainism called as Shravak. Shravak means a good listener, that's all. Shravak is a person who listens so attentively, so much fully aware and listening. That's called Shravak. Just by listening, you absorb the truth instantly and you get enlightened. So the shortcut to enlightenment is just by listening to the master, and that's it. You attend to that. Understanding is realizing. So there are different ways. All masters have something in common. That awareness become aware of itself. All of them, for sure, did witnessing. साक्षी भाव में रहना सब लोग सीखे थे. उसके बिना किसी की नहीं चली. वो तो हकीकत है. So one thing that everybody must try is साक्षी भाव. Get into aloof attention. Get into witnessing mode compulsorily. Ask yourself who is witnessing. That moment, you become aware of the witness, and the awareness is awakened. Just stay there, then awareness becoming aware of it. The third state. That's it. That's enlightenment. Easy. All these 3 stages can happen in the presence of the master just by listening. Actually, it does not need efforts. Just remain awake. Don't fall asleep. Listen attentively. Raise your vibrational frequency. That's it. Instantly awakening can happen. The truth starts vibrating in your heart. The truth that is vibrating in the master's heart, the same truth starts vibrating in your heart. You understand the whole thing. Ranjit Maharaj used to nicely explain this as prachiti. Prachiti is a Sanskrit word. He said there are three types of prachiti, means experiences. One is called Shastra prachiti. So you listen to the scriptures, what they are talking about. All the scriptures are talking about enlightenment happening in certain manner, and that is considered as a truth because that is written in the scripture, Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita. All these things are promoting the truth. So whatever is written in the scriptures is the truth, is known as the Shastra Prachiti. The knowledge is developing, is growing. See, in the non-growing, non-developing religions, there is somebody who is the last Messiah, and that's it, finished. That religion is not growing. Sanatan Dharma is not like that. It's like a flowing river, Ganges. गंगा है ये, ज्ञान की गंगा सदा परिवर्तित होती है. Lots of masters have come and contributed. So it's a updating knowledge, continuously flowing, continuously rejuvenating, continuously updating knowledge. That is Sanatan Dharma. So there is not one fixed Messiah. And there is nothing like a last Messiah in Sanatan Dharma. It's ever fresh, ever flowing, ever rejuvenating. Every moment updating the knowledge. So there is something called Guru Prachiti. The truth is vibrating in the heart of the Guru. And if you are in love with the Guru, if you are sharing the love of Guru, the same truth starts vibrating in you. That's it. It has happened. You are sharing the same truth. This is called Guru Prachiti. Third one is called Atma Prachiti. Atma Prachiti means you listen to the Guru, you understand, then you get into the aloneness, you do your sadhana on your own, you get into the same truth. So by listening to the Shastras, by reading the scripture, it can happen through your sadhana. By listening to the words of the Guru live, it can happen instantly. Or you do your sadhana in your aloneness and realize the truth on your own. It can happen that way also. So three prachitis. Shastra prachiti, Guru prachiti, and Atma prachiti. All the three ways are valid. Try all three, whichever way. Be committed. Don't drain your energy. Continuously grow into that energy reservoir, vibrate high, and it can happen. All right. So I will listen. I will look into all your questions. Sir says many times people confuse meditation with chanting. Yeah. Chanting is the beginning. You want to do that, it's fine. But enter the silence. Okay, Preeti has posted the Science Behind Shaktipat video. You can click onto that link and keep it there. You can see it afterward. This was the talk I gave last time at USA because a lot of scientific minded friends were there. They wanted to know my research work. So I opened up my entire research work in a very systematic manner through the presentation. Those who are keen on knowing how this laboratory works and all, I have shown all the instruments and everything there. Guruji, will natural calamities lessen after mass enlightenment? 100% guaranteed, Tushar. Krishna Patel is asking, dear Guruji, is witnessing and gap awareness during daily activities sufficient for breakthrough, or is meditation, sitting with eyes closed and witnessing gap awareness, necessary? See, it depends on your intensity. If you are able to maintain your high energy vibrational frequency, you are fit for that. Whether sitting or not sitting doesn't matter. But the very question is asked because you don't have a time, which means you are doing too many things. So when you are doing too many things, you are actually depleting your energy. So it cannot happen. Why sitting silently doing nothing is required? Because your energy reservoir has to build up. So, Nixon, understand this. The art of doing nothing is a very important thing. Yes, Devasys Ganguly has posted, embracing the art of doing nothing. That's exactly what is Nixon. Thoughts reduce PVF. Yes. The moment thoughts are there, your PVF reduces because your energy is taken away by the Guruji. Will mental changing reduce the PVF? 100%. Mental changing is what? It's a thought only. No? So thought is reducing the PVF. Vinay is asking, is affected by stroke. Some linguistic error. Can you repost the whole thing? Anybody can get enlightened. Whatever I understand a little bit. Venkatesh is saying, even the activity of watching the thought or body is not art of doing in the name of not doing. It's on the way, halfway through. When awareness becomes aware of itself, even that stops. That is 100% Nixon. So that's intermittent state, Venkatesh. You are passing through that. So it's a transient state, transition state. Verbal mental changing brings good sensation in body. Is this mind game? Yes, it's a mind game of feel good factor. Nothing wrong. No criticism of that. But that's not it. So stop that if you want to go ahead. Sonia, when I meditate, I start by focusing on breath. I become blank and then would again come back to breath. But then it would be like the breath is going on by itself and my belly or chest is not moving. I just let it be. Is that okay? That's not okay. That's okay in the beginning, but the more focus should be on raising your vibrational frequency and being aware, highly aware. See, this meditation of watching your breath can reduce your awareness also. You may fall asleep. Literally, many people I have seen nicely sleeping after watching the breath. See, breath is becoming rhythmic, and just by watching the breath, you feel like a lullaby, and then you fall. And nice sleep you get for sure. It's a good prescription for the very good sleep. But you can fall asleep. All meditation is all about increasing your awareness. How vibrant you are aware. You are. How awake you are. How aware you are. Okay. That should be the focus. Third is known as Prachiti. Shastra Prachiti, Guru Prachiti, Atma Prachiti. No, Parag has written Shastra Prachiti, Guru Prachiti, Atma Prachiti. Prachiti is experience. Sun plus Ketu have also come together. Excellent time for enlightenment. Yes, 1 month. 1 month, Sun and Ketu will stay together. Atma, Karak Sun and Moksha giver Ketu. What else you want to tell me? Atma Karak Sun and Moksha giver Ketu together. Exactly. Absolutely fantastic combination for spiritual progress. Not good for material well-being. Sonia is saying this morning 6:30 I saw the sun rising having deep orange color among the clear blue sky. Anuradha says, Guruji, my thoughts are minimal and breath almost don't feel, but body troubles me. So that's why you need to have a good vehicle. The body has to be good, and for that, yogasana, pranayam, all that is recommended. Guruji Krishnamurti said, Pratyush is asking, Guruji Krishnamurti said to Dada Gavan, let the energy act on its own, do not push it or pull it in any direction. After Dada Gavanji's awareness become aware of itself, experience my awareness becoming aware of itself, but after that, what does it mean? Let energy act on its own. See, there are many people, they have their own ideas about guiding that energy. Okay. But that energy is intelligent energy. That energy guides you. So instead of you guiding the energy, better be guided by energy by watching it, witnessing it, not interfering sharing it in the working of the energy. That's what is the meaning of that. That's what the other one mentioned about it. Any interference is like a disturbance in the field. That energy is very intelligent energy. It works on its own accord. It clears all your blockages. It keeps working. See, 13th July 1993, the explosion happens. Okay. First time in this body that 40 minutes crossed in the thoughtless state. The explosion happened. After that, for 5 years, morning 4 to 9, evening 4 to 9, 10 hours a day, I used to meditate. And that is the time when I saw all my past lives. 500 plus past lives I saw like a video movie during those years. Okay. The long meditations. And I understood that in those 500 lives, I had been doing certain mistakes repeatedly. And what mistakes one can do, all the knowledge of the 500 lifetimes is now available to me. But you see, 5 hours in the morning, 5 hours in the evening. That was the minimum quota recommended by Dada Gavan, my master told me. If you really want to go deep, you have to go there. Because I had asked my master. See, after he got enlightened and he came down, met his mother, and then went to Chennai, he met Jiddu Krishnamurti. And after that, once again, he went to Bilar and Marvelous area. After enlightenment, for 14 long years, he was meditating. After enlightenment. Before enlightenment, only 6 to 8 months. 6 months exactly in that small house. After enlightenment, he was meditating for 14 years at one place. And that was my question. Why did you spend 14 years meditating after enlightenment? Whatever can be attained, it was there. And he said that was the time when he was cleansing his all the bodies. Karmic cleansing was going on. Deep-rooted patterns coming out, blind spots getting cleared up. Because he was a non-veg eater and he was a hunter, so he had done many bad karmas. So during that meditation, he was doing his karmic cleansing. 7 years, one cycle is completed, and he thought that's not enough. So he entered one more cycle of 7 years. So total 2 cycles of 7 years. Like that, for 14 years, he was sitting in his cottage in Mahabaleshwar meditating. I also meditated in the same cottage with him for a few days during my sadhana call. Stayed with him in that cottage. So, meditation is still required after enlightenment also. I also went through the same process. See, I used to get a lot of headache during the meditation. You know why? Because my belief system, my subconscious equation, everything was getting transformed during those 5 years when I was getting the visions of past lives and all. Lots of DNA level correction, brainwaves corrections, neural network corrections, neuron level corrections started happening. It's during those days that my face changed. Okay, DNA level corrections happened, and my body also became stronger after that. My awareness became much stronger after that. I could see through the karma of the other people. I could read through the minds of the people because my sensitivity went up and up. It needs longer meditation after enlightenment also. So it's all an experience. It's a very, very exciting journey. Anybody who takes up the journey will be rewarded with the best of the best that the existence has to offer. It's all up to you to decide and have a leap of faith into the unknown. And unknown takes care. Okay. What is required is that leap of faith into the unknown. And that's how unknown will take over. That's the point. The mind is interested in moving from known to known to known to known. The quantum jump is totally into the unknown. It's a different dimension altogether. So there were masters. Jiddu Krishnamurti was there, Dada Gavan was there, Ranjit Maharaj was there. I'm using the word was because they are no more into the body. But there are many masters who are in the body and they are living into totally different dimension. But we can't understand that because we are hypnotized by the life. So no matter where, start your journey and something wonderful is waiting for you. Guruji, the long meditation should be continuous in one sitting? Preferably, yes. Gratitude, today's session, indeed, leap of faith into unknown, blessed and full of gratitude. Thank you, Devasis. All right, so may all of you get ready for that leap of faith and enter the unknown. Thank you very much.